Destiny is more than simply reaching a destination. What you gain along your way to your destination is part of destiny. You can't get to destiny and bypass people, experiences, and lessons. Your mentors propel you to destiny, but so do the people who do everything they can to thwart you. Successes will boost you closer to destiny, but so will your mistakes. The lessons you learn will drive you nearer to destiny, but so will the instructions you fail to heed. This complex mix of inextricable part of the destiny process. Surviving that process requires that you find joy in the details on your path to destiny. Menial jobs, demanding bosses, failed relationships, financial setbacks. Keep them in perspective. Recognize that each brings you closer to destiny. Remember your strategy during these long, uneventful seasons because it gives you concrete reasons to keep pushing forward. Want your future badly enough to grab hold and not let go when the day to day has you feeling like a failure? You may not feel like a person of destiny when you wake up every day, but that's just your feelings. Your head will tell you to get up, be on time, and face the daily challenges because destiny awaits you. Your future is not rooted in how you feel, but in how you act. You cannot base your quest for destiny on feelings. The way you feel changes based on different variables, but your mind changes based on knowledge and information. Don't give in to your feelings. Emotions are the sabotagers of destiny. Beat your feelings into captivity through mental discipline. Discipline says, I may not like what I have to do today or feel like doing it, but I know what must be done today and why I have to do it. Discipline is the domain of the head. The new car you can't afford right now, but feel would make you happy, will wait if you have financial discipline. Discipline gets you to the gym to work out when your feelings say stay in because it's cold and rainy today. Discipline says skip the next second helping. Stay on the job even though your boss made you mad enough to quit. Tell your child no even though she'll pout, moan, and whine for a week. Stay in school even though you feel like an eternal student. Feelings tell you to get your hair and nails done because you're a little depressed. Discipline tells you to budget in getting your hair and nails done because you need to make a good impression at your upcoming job interview. Discipline makes decisions that take you toward destiny. I've looked back on decisions I made and asked myself, what was I thinking? Or thinking can be flawed, skewed, or based on erroneous information. Right information and disciplined thinking leads to right decisions, but nobody can be spot on in their decisions every time. Like me, you will still make some mistakes, but the likelihood of mistakes is far greater if your life is based on feelings rather than head choices. When you do make mistakes, keep a level head, reassess, and move in the direction of destiny. Above all else, guard what goes on in your head. Protect that space between your ears with all you've got. A soldier, a soldier about to go into battle, a police officer about to make a raid, a football player headed for the playing field. They will all protect their head with the proper gear. Protect your head so that your journey to destiny is guided by knowledge rather than feelings. Protect your head to keep negativity out. When people doubt your abilities, when you have an attack of low self esteem, or when you experience a setback, don't fall into a dark place from which you cannot easily emerge. Preserve your positive thoughts. Keep your thoughts in a good place. Protect the positive person inside you who is telling you that you have what it takes. Watch your self-talk. Tell yourself you will make it, no matter what happens, no matter what anyone else thinks. After Elvis Presley's very first performance, his manager told him, "You ain't gonna nowhere, son. You ought to go back to driving a truck." It's a good thing the king protected his head and didn't listen. His records have sold more than 1 billion copies. Protecting your head is important because discouraging advice will come from the sage expert. And if you're filling your own head with negative information, you can cancel out the helpful efforts of mentors, sponsors, and advisors. If 500 people tell you that you have what it takes, all you have to do to cancel all of that positive energy is look in the mirror and say, "No, I don't." Protect your head against others, but also against yourself. God's opinion is the only one you need. If God says you can, that's all that matters. Listen to what God tells you, then watch what you say to yourself. Don't tear yourself down. Don't beat yourself up. You cannot arrive at destiny if you tell yourself that you're not good enough, not smart enough, not qualified, nor attractive. Don't work against God by tearing yourself down. Reaching destiny requires you to monitor how you talk to yourself. Next to the voice of God, your own is the most important one you will hear. You are with you all the time, so guard how you talk to yourself. You can avoid negative people, but you can never get away from yourself. You can't escape yourself. If you're tearing yourself down, change your thoughts from negative to positive and from destructive to uplifting. Build yourself up by speaking self-empowering words. Ward off iffy talk, "I wonder," or "what if." This is nothing more than negative speculation. Guard your head against speculation about your destiny. You can't have what you are striving for in your hand until you have it in your head. Get it in your head, not in your feelings. That you can and will achieve your goals. Whatever you want, get it in your head. I vividly remember a conversation I had with my sister back in West Virginia when my wife and I had been through repeated financial challenges. I was tired of being broke. Riding in the car with my sister, I told her, "I'm not going to be broke anymore." That may have sounded foolish at the time, but I certainly have gotten to where I am no longer broke. The change didn't come overnight, but making that decision in my head set the wheels in motion for the financial situation to change for me and my family. Get in your zone. When you're forced on your own path, your mind is open to new ideas and revelations. Your limitless potential can be shaped by destiny's unfettered hand. Those who avoid the lure of creativity are residents of the comfort zone. Those who like safety inhabit the comfort zone. The comfort zone is the land of status quo, whose language is, "We've never done it that way before." Those words stop progress, stifle creativity, and halt innovation. Life in the comfort zone requires no challenge, no guts, and no determination. Everyone who lives in the comfort zone is expected to speak like others speak, do what others do, not to do what others don't do. They choke creativity to what they can understand. The comfort zone looks easygoing, but it's tense and controlling. Residents of the comfort zone demand total allegiance. You can't live among them and dare to be different. You can't zip to the comfort zone, then out of it when you get a burst of creativity. You'll be punished for trying to live among them while they perceive you and simultaneously betraying them with your new ideas and originality. Clusters of comfort zoners reside in strata, every strata of life, from the deepest recess of the inner city to the sprawling manicured lawn of suburbia. At church and school, at your workplace and professional organization. They're in your neighborhoods, family, sorority, fraternity, and country club. They're among the boys in the hood and the billionaire boys club. Young African Americans in urban areas across our country are often pressed to stay in the comfort zone of a limited existence of poverty and ignorance. They are susceptible to peer and even intra-family pressure to not read books, speak standard English, make good grades, or pursue a life that doesn't include prison or unwed early pregnancy. The comfort zone of their world says historical racism and exclusion has shown us that you can't get ahead. You don't start acting like you have hope to make a better life for yourself. Beyond that comfort zone is a world of opportunity, destiny for those willing to break out of their comfort zone. Comfort zones don't have a favorite neighborhood. In the most prosperous neighborhoods, just as a ghetto, people are confined. Marry only a certain type, enroll children only in certain schools, drive certain cars, shop in particular stores, maintain accepted political affiliations, and join specific types of organization. Dare to think or behave differently, and soon you must move on, an outcast from the comfort zone. The people who live there fear the non-compliant among them, fear creativity because out of its boundless abundance come visions and imaginations that cannot be contained or controlled. Destiny seekers live in the creative zone without limits or boundaries. Their energies are stirred by the creative process. Creative zoners thrive on new ideas and designs. They await new expressions of imagination to energize and enliven them. Like comfort zone dwellers, creative zoners come from every walk of life, socioeconomic group, race, gender, and educational level. Arthur Frey, inventor of the post-it note, had a successful career as an inventor and scientist, but he didn't dwell in the comfort zone of middle-aged, middle-class American males. His most popular invention spawned an entire industry that continues to evolve from its origins in 1975. Daymond Johnson, creator of the immensely successful FUBU line of urban apparel, rose from poverty to purpose by delving into his creative zone. He gives this advice to creative thinkers: if nobody else likes it, it might be a hit, since comfort zoners like sameness. If they find your ideas distasteful, they may be your green light to keep moving forward. Jump fully into the creative zone, and you will find fulfillment and purpose that you cannot imagine as a comfort zone dweller. If you have been banned from the comfort zone of your friend's job or neighborhood, say goodbye and good riddance. Have the courage to walk away from them, even if they scare you with the warnings of dire consequences or potential pitfalls of taking risks and doing something differently. While destiny calls you, friends, loved ones, and co-workers in the comfort zone will find you to be afraid to go back to school, to fear quitting your job to start a business, or that you aren't creative enough to write music or plays or books. Take on the challenge of seeing who you can become. Ignore the deceptive lure of the comfort zone. If destiny is calling, you can never be satisfied with sameness and mediocrity. And if you're afraid to leave what you already know, think about this. If you have the courage to walk away from the familiar to pursue destiny, and it doesn't work out for you, you can always go back to that old place. Those same people you left with will still be there when you get back. You get to choose where you will dwell, comfort zone or creative zone. If you are brave enough to ignore the distractions, you will feel as if you have arrived home when you get to the creative zone. That is your destiny. Your ideas will be embraced and celebrated. An annual television concert called Divas Live featured some of the greatest vocalists of our day: Celine Dion, Gloria Estefan, Aretha Franklin, Shania Twain, Whitney Houston, Brandy, Cher, Tina Turner, and Mariah Carey. In session together, the divas were inspired by one another's vocal range and ability. That's how Creative Zone works. As you find your way out of the safety of sameness, you will link up with creative comrades who make you better as you make them better. Find your creative zone doesn't mean you sing, sit or paint or sculpt or write or display any talent customarily defined as creative. The creative zone is simply the place where your uncharted journey to destiny is free to explore all roads. Whatever your revealed purpose, you will be energized by opening your mind to ideas and closing the narrow mental corridors of convention and sameness.